I met a gypsy.
Yeah, I mean, I've respected the best sports in the world. I'd say pro bull riding physically is an insane sport. It's only 8 seconds, so you could basically be completely unfit. You never see an overweight guy riding a bull. You know, the guys are clearly fit and strong, but that to me is the most insane sport in the world. Like, to strap yourself to a wild bull who's going to try and get you off and kill you if it can. You're a savage if you get on one of them. So I put them way above me. I put them way above motocrossers. But then I look at a motocrosser in downhill, and like I'm good enough level at both to respect and understand what a pro is doing on a bike, even though maybe somebody that's not into the sport can't quite tell. But those, honestly, downhill, the level of accuracy required at the speed we are going at is, I don't think it's comparable really in any other sport. And I have this thing, like, everybody has a different perception, right? You're driving down the road in your car and there's some guy doing 40 in front of you and you're like, dude, come on, is that your limit? Like, is the world coming at you so fast that you can't go faster than 40? You know, you get this open highway, you got nothing, there's no trouble here at all. What are you worried about? And then I think it's probably because I go past trees at, like, 3 millimeters. I can get to the bottom of a run at an average of 30-40 kilometers an hour. So you can go past a tree at 60-70, and I can every single lap clip the end of my handlebar just on selection, going at 60-70 kilometers an hour. Just chunk, like, take the bar off the bark off the tree. Like that level of precision, as we said before, just from thousands and thousands, loads of mountain bikers out there that can probably do it. All of that time spent, that to me is a level of skill and talent that I don't really see in many other sports. And I think our sport, more than most, is one of those that you have to come and see in person. You really have to stand next to the track and feel the ground shaking as a mountain bike, like ba-ba-ba-bong. The rocks are dinging, the bike's shaking, and when you watch a mountain biker in slow motion, like, you can see the fingers like bouncing off, like, everything. The level of vibration is just nuts on a mountain bike. The hand pump in comparison to a motocross bike's just out of this world. I really do think motocross and downhill they're very, very, very close as far as, like, how much skill and time is required to get to that top level. So I think that's why we're seeing such a good, and you're doing a great job of this, merging the two sports, because we're so alike. It's insane.
Yeah, and there is, I think, like, that mutual respect level, and like even a want, for Kenny to say that he wants to do that and he wants to go over, and, like, once he retires, and just, I don't think he's saying he wants to make a career out of it or whatever. He's going to have enough money to do whatever he wants, but just that he's got, like, a desire and a drive to even try that. It obviously shows, like, a level of respect of, I actually want to give this a crack and see what I could do.
Yeah. I mean, it was the same. I don't know if you were a part of it, but Bernard Kerr tried was it the Road to Anaheim or something he called it? I can't remember what he called it. It was something along those lines. Same thing. And, everybody in the UK was like, oh, I think he could actually do it. And I was sat there at home going, listen, I know he's good, and I know he can throw a scrub and he can rail a berm on Instagram, but you have no idea how big those Supercross tracks actually are when you're in person. Like, if that guy can get through the whoops once whilst tagging the front wheel off every one, I'll be absolutely amazed. And, sure enough, he was, like, humbled. Obviously AMA were never going to let him in either, but I think he'd even admit it when you actually stand there for the very first time next to a Supercross track and a whoop on the TV looks a couple of inches, in comparison, you're stood there and it's like nipple height on me and I'm like 5'10", you're like, there's no way this is what this is actually like. And it's the same for every sport. You really have to be and see it in person. And the fact that Kenny's got enough interest just based on what he's seen online and having a shot on the bikes here and there is really cool. It's proud to say that I'm a part of a sport that attracts people with that much gnarliness in them,
That's cool. So you're saying that you can purposely clip trees full clip on a downhill bike. Like, you have that level of spatial awareness of you and your bicycle.
Absolutely, yeah. You could put like a cent coin on top of a can. You could pretty much knock it off with the bottom of the tire. I can clip my feet or put my pedal, just like slide it across the top of a stump maybe when I'm trying to jump something. Like, yeah, the level of accuracy at the speed that we go at is probably something that people don't, like I say, you can't see it with the naked eye. But I'll get to the bottom of my home trails at Innerleithen are known for being really tight. I'll get to the bottom of every single run and I'll have like the green tree marks up my shoulders on both sides, and I'll have bark on the end of bar ends, both sides, almost every single run. And you know the trees when you're coming into it, you know that like I almost need to clip this one and to be close enough to get the apex of the next one type of thing. So yeah, for sure, yeah, you could we could clip things that close.
That's fucked
It's
up.
nuts. Yeah,
was that something that do you like drill that as a kid, or is that like, is it something that it just naturally develops over time, or is that an actual skill that you've put time into?
I mean, I've never put any time specifically. I've never went for like, let's go and clip some trees from a bar end today type training. But just from where like I say, in this place, Innerleithen in the Scottish borders, near Peebles, is my home riding. I'd say that's where I've spent the last 10 years practicing and honing all my skills. And I went to a college course there. So it's all a really natural, super tight, but really fast through the trees style of riding. So you have no choice but to get like really out of shape. So I can move my bike all the way over to an edge, and then when the tree is actually passing the bar end, then you have to move your shoulder. So you're actually riding like, you know, kind of around the trees and around the stumps. Yeah. And it's a super unique form of riding. Like all the World Cup riders now, you say, oh, we've got a race at Innerleithen, they'd be like, yeah, nah, I'm out. Like, it's just preparing to destroy a shoulder at any moment in time. And I've had my fair share, but it's given me that level of accuracy that you can't really get anywhere else unless you just do that specific thing, you know?
That's mental, dude. I was, before when you were talking about how unique downhill is in the sense of you don't have a reference point. Like, it's purely just based on your own speed and your own intuition of what fast is. Imagine, let's say, 10 years into the future, Oakley has a set of goggles that has like a ghost of the fastest run in it. And you can actually, like, you can pass that ghost, or the ghost can be just in front of you. Like, can you imagine living in that world?
We literally spoke about this. Me and my friend Max, who Sleeperco, do a lot of. He's got a sim set up in his house, and we do a lot of sim driving. We play a lot of Supercross on the console. We played a lot of Call of Duty as kids, and straight away when we went to downhill, we're like, it's so much better when you can follow somebody. If you can get somebody that's like 5 to 10% faster than you, so they're only pulling like a bike length and a half, maybe, you know, every 30 seconds. It's perfect. That's the perfect amount of mountain biking that you can get a tow along. But yeah, in a race run, you're completely blind. So if you had a ghost in your goggle from your lap previous, 100% every single lap you would pip it off. And eventually you would reach a peak where you're head to head with your ghost and it's difficult. But yeah, absolutely would make a difference.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.